Good evening, chat. Hello. It is Thursday night and another well-lit Thursday, so let's get started. I hope you guys are all doing well. It's been an interesting 24 hours with what's been going on, and we're going to cover it because there's a lot of weird stuff. And tonight, we are live on Rumble. We are live tonight on Kick and also YouTube. So, yes, guys, Rumble is working. So guess what? We'll give Rumble a shot because I know some of you are Rumble snobs. And I see on a wall already over there on Rumble. So, yeah, guys, welcome. Welcome to the Thursday night show. Hope you guys are all doing well. And once again, guys, if you guys are new, you came over from last night, I am Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. I'm an attorney in the Cleveland area. And we got a lot to talk about. The ICE updates, Karen Reed, her car is being sold. Her CARFAX has been released. And then, one of the other big things to talk about is the return of privateering. The return of privateering and state-sanctioned piracy. And they're like, wait, that's a thing? Yes, it is entirely a thing, and we're going to get to that. Real quick, SB Sellers had Andrea on. Yes, Andrea Burkhart was on with Hella. Andrea Burkhart, very, very intelligent. Really appreciate her analysis, everything out there. So, yeah, she was on with Hella today. Overexcited utterance, guys. I listened to it for a couple minutes. Really good stuff. Yes, Andrew Baldwin. He is one of the people, the lead attorney. Well, the two attorneys. He was one of the two attorneys defended Richard Allen out in Delphi, Indiana. Very, very good attorney. Very knowledgeable. I will tell you, I appreciate listening to him talk. Gain a little bit of information from him myself. He's on with Bob Mata and Ali Mata over at the Defense Diaries. Yeah, very, very good. Very, very good thing here. And if we don't get Clyde tonight, we'll riot. Well, he literally came in here and he put his paws on my leg and I turned and he hopped down. He just looks at me and says, bye, and trotted off. So maybe we'll get Clyde at some point. Maybe we'll get him. I don't know. Brad says, I actually do read chat. Yes, sometimes I do. EDW Raptor for wide sob. Yeah, we're not doing like me Copia. One sub. No, it's with passion. One sub. 4M says, bravo for your patience with some in chat last night. Hey, that's part of that. Can't sit there and just spurg out on people. It don't work that. You won't last long doing that. But I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Last night was fun, guys. We had a ton of people here. It was busy. Seller says, unless I'm on Twitter and then I ignore you guys. Well, yes. And then T-Rex Travels and crypto. I guess crypto the dog lost top billing, it looks like. It says, oh man, Sean versus the Hassan libtards of YouTube was hilarious last night. Yeah, it was. But hey, you need that challenge. You can't just live in a hug box. And if they come at you, you deal with it. You beat them off with both hands. Not exactly what I just said. And then Shredder S07 says, Teal Boy to offset the tism from last night's chat. Well, thank you. And guys, remember, we have a goal tonight. If we meet the goal, hopefully people will comply with the ICE agents when they're commanded to do something next time. Because I don't want to see people die. Like when the policeman tells you to do something, guess what you do? You do it. It's pretty simple. As a defense attorney, that's the advice any defense attorney will tell you. The cop's telling me to do something. And you know what I tell you when you're on the phone and you tell me that? Hey, the cop's outside my car telling me to get out. I tell you, get out of the fucking car. Do what they say, film it, we'll deal with it. Like, that's how we handle it. And then EDWR for $5 says, for compliance. Well, thank you. Let's see here. Victory celebration tonight at Stoney's for the Toes victory. Yeah, I saw that clip from Melissa. I don't think he's implying that anything has happened, but he's just pointing out that while this case is pending, the TRO is in effect, the HRO is in effect, and Melton can't talk about Aaron's daughter. So I think that's what Aaron was getting at, because like nothing else has come out. And I don't think anything has come out. I think that's Aaron's way of just saying, like, as of right now, Melton's been effectively neutered from talking about her. And, that's, while this drags on, it's almost as effective as having an enforceable TRO. So that's what I assume that means. But yes, anyways, chat, speaking of Stonies, we do have our sponsors tonight. Yes, our sponsors. Let's get to our sponsors. People who show us some love, we need to show it back. We need to love them back. First of all, chat, we have the dragonstreasure.com, a haven for tea and anime lovers, guys. The tea man's out there putting together high-quality tea, high-quality soap, and high-quality coffee. Not that coffee brand coffee shit, but high-quality coffee, premium coffee. Not a hint of coffee brand coffee here, like real coffee. Guys, hit them up. Use the promo code criminal. Get you 10% off your next order. Show the tea man love. He's the base tea man. Buy his tea. And then next up, we have MAF Corporation, MAF-arms.com. Chat, remember, it's only January, but spring will be on us soon enough, and your wind chimes need to be ready. Promo code POTCRIM gets you 10% off. Codes purchases over $500. Once again, you will get Ivan and Matt both putting a big old lipstick red kiss on your invoice. Maybe the lips will overlap and give you time to think wild thoughts. Maybe if you ask, and they shall do it. Orders over $1,000, you will get very tasteful lewds. Fudbusters himself. That's what he told me. Chat. And then finally, chat, last but not least, Stoney's Bar and Grill, chat. Stoney's Bar at 158 East Broadway Street in Rockville, Minnesota, chat. It's always, reminding ourselves of our sponsors. It's good to be home again. At Stoney's. And that's where we are right now, chat. We are talking about Stoney's, and they are doing awesome. It is a new year, but it's the same old Stoney's going full tilt. They're going 155, chat. In the Fields is playing this Friday. They've got a great jam-packed January so far. They're just going to jam your clam with content, really. January 30th, it's a Friday night. You got Hellion. Crimson Edge is on Saturday, January 24th. Julio Goldstein is Friday, January 23rd. Mystery Machine is January 17th. And then, yes, chat, this weekend is In the Fields. They are ready. To get down. I mean, just take advantage of this stuff, guys. It's all out there. Get your road pops in you. Get ready for the spring. And you'll be out there cranking your hog. You'll be out there cranking your hog on the patio once again in the summer. Before you know it, just hang in there. It'll be the fun times again before you know it. So that's at Stoney's, chat. Once again, serving Minnesota as the premier biker bar for 30 years running. Home of the $2.50 cans, chat. It's still Thursday, and it's still $2.50 cans. So take advantage of it. Oh. Yes, last night was wild with the leftist. I gained 100 subs. Yep. Seller saying, did it get confirmed? I don't think it's been confirmed. I think Aaron was just implying the order is still in effect. I don't think they've had another court date. Trust me. If Nick or Melton lost, here's the thing, guys. If Nick or Melton lost, they would see this. Well, it's not fair because Nick's in Minnesota, but it's like I forget what Tom Sizemore movie it's from, but he's like, they'll see the smoke from fucking Canada if that were to happen. You will hear, some farmer in Finland is going to be sitting there chopping wood, and all of a sudden he's just going to hear this reeing echoing through the fucking frozen forest. We will know when that happens. It has not happened yet. Trust me. You'll know when it happens. You'll see the smoke and you'll hear the screams. So, The never-ending goose story, yes, is the never-ending goose story. It's very much what it is. It's very much what it is. January 6th, 2.0 says, scare away the comrades. I wanted them to stay. Stephen Cooper says, thoughts on the Marinera being seized? You mean like the boats being seized? I don't know if that's what you're getting at, but we'll get to that. And is that the one boat they seized, or are you talking about like Marinera as a joke, like fat man? I don't know. It's really hard to figure out. Hold on here. Let me see. Hold on 1 second, chat. I need to see something here. No. Chat. Hold on here. Let me see. I don't. Let me see here. It's okay. I'm just sorry. Somebody just sent me something. I'm trying to figure this out, chat. We have not breaking news, but something I think needs to be addressed here. Let me see. Okay, well, thank you. I will take care of that. I will take care of that. So, hold on 1 second. Yes, sweetheart. Yes. We'll talk about it later. Let me get back to this chat here, just addressing this. All right, we'll take care of that. Okay. But yes, there is a bunch of stuff going on, guys. Globally, all kinds of fun things are going down. And we're going to get started on that here. This is really, really good stuff, but we're going to get started. Let's get out to this. Garfield's Bizarre Adventures says, shout out to Sean, everyone's favorite Lebanese lawyer. Yeah, I know. People, I guess there. Radcott Hazard says, $5 shout out, even though the McRib is fake. Arby's got the $8 meal box to soothe your soul, Sean. Arby's, ugh. People eat the roast beef and cheese, the cheddar and stuff. Ugh. Arby's doesn't do a whole lot. Oh no, chat. Did we meet the goal? I think we did. Oh, we did. We met the goal. Hallelujah. Let's hope people follow orders next time when ICE tells them to do something. Everybody Steven says Sean Tim Walls' daughter's occupation is listed as social worker. I'm willing to bet she's in on the fraud in Minnesota. Undoubtedly so. Amateur Iconoclast says, they said, come sail away with me, lads. Harry Stevens says, also, Sean, can I open carry in California now like a real man? I sure hope so. I would be very careful about that because I still think you're probably going to, police are going to pull guns on you. So that would be, you need to consult with a California attorney. It's a little dicey. And then T-Rex at Travel says, I just think this lady wasn't trying to flee ICE or run on the officer. She just heard about Stoney's $2 cans in the Twister tournament. That's right. If Aaron hadn't promoted Naked Twister, she wouldn't be dead. Blood is on your hands, Aaron. The goo and the blood is on your hands, Aaron. And your face. All right. Let's get started. Chat. It is time to go. We're burning daylight and talk is cheap. So here we go. Yes, ultra rare Aaron dub. Yes. CGC graded 10. Also graded by Beckett's as top in mint condition. So from here, guys, we are going to get into the ICE shooting that happened in Minneapolis yesterday. We went all night about that last night, chat. And yeah, it's not pretty. It sucks. You know, the ICE agent had to kill that lady. You know, when the guys with the guns tell you don't fucking do something, as an attorney, this is free legal advice. The cops tell you to do something and they're holding guns in their hands and they're telling you you're under arrest. You should do the thing they're telling you to do because it's a great way not to die. And they will kill you if you don't comply. And, you know, if you don't think so, oh, they sure as shit will. They sure as shit will. If you guys have not seen that shooting yet, we are going to watch it here real quick just so you guys can see it. If you guys have not, like I said, if you haven't seen this, get ready. If you guys have not seen somebody get killed and you're new to the show, it'll be a little tough, but here you go. I don't know why this won't full. Yeah, there we go. All right. Here we go. Now, this is the car. These are the ICE agents coming in. When we start this, though, we rewind a little bit. This guy is the guy who does the shooting. And what we can tell from things is this ICE agent, this is his car, and it's stuck. So why is she in the middle of the road and in the way? We've heard a lot of stories of, well, she was dropping her kids off at school. There's no school around here. So what was she out dicking around? She was dicking around with ICE. So here we go.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking God! What the fuck? What the fuck? You just fucking, what the fuck did you do?
They did the thing. You were told, it's just like Reservoir Dogs. Had you not done the thing that I told you not to do, you'd still be alive right now. Just like Mr. Blonde says. Mr. Blonde, before he starts killing everybody in the jewelry store, had they done the thing I told him not to do, I wouldn't have had to kill him. And it's like, that's one way to put it. That's one way to put it. But yes, he did happen. Okay, real quick over on Rumble. So somebody I could finally get my comments posted. Finally, yes. It's Yakuza. I do like Rumble. It's my streaming of choice. Well, like I said, we'll try to work on that more this year. Somebody's saying in chat, why would I set an unentertaining goal? Well, because I want people to not get hurt if we can avoid it. So anyways, that's what happened there. This is after some things have happened. Anyways, the woman who got shot was Renee Good. She was here protesting, doing La Resistance stuff. And we now know today, apparently it got leaked somehow, the ICE officer who shot her, his information got released. And you're like, that's not suspicious at all. That's don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. It's like 100% suspicious. I mean, like, that's not even a little bit sus. That's like all the way sus, really. Really all the way sus. You know, it's very, 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 very interesting. You just don't know. You just don't know. But yeah, so it's funny because once again, you know, people are now threatening to kill this guy, and it's just like when people were threatening to kill Kyle Rittenhouse. And I'm not going to show his shit because I'm not going to do that to him. But the guy already shot somebody. Like, so he's already demonstrated whether or not you like him. That ICE agent has demonstrated he's got what it takes to go the distance. Like, he will go all the way. He will go past the limit. You know, he's prepared to go all the way. And he's demonstrated that. So guess what he'll do if you box him in and he has to go all the way again? Homie's going to get it on. So that's not the guy I want to try to kill. It's not the guy I want to try to fight. But What do I know? People are stupid. People are stupid, and they will do that. And uncivil law, Kurt, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well out there. Yes. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, 100%. It's yeah, she wanted to play, you play resistance games, you're going to win a resistance prize. And that is getting arrested. I don't know why you would do this and not expect to get arrested. It seems pretty retarded to me that you would try that. And, she wanted to LARP. So then, they LARPed here. So, and we've learned a lot, actually. Apparently, this ICE officer last year got dragged by a car like 100 yards or 100 feet, something, and it fucked him up real bad. So that's another thing that goes, like, he can articulate. I have a reasonable fear. I've been dragged already by these fucking people. And they almost killed me. I mean, like, so he's got a lot going in his favor. I think more and 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 more. This is going to be justified. And yeah, I really don't, yeah. 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 It's just a thing here. It's just a thing here. And we are, Onawall gifted a subscription. Well, thank you, Onawall. I appreciate it. Thank you out there. I got to get the Rumble wallet set up, tipped in crypto. I will work on that. I'll figure that out. Get the Rumble wallet going. I got it. Somebody else, like the one guy in Argentina is like, get a wallet set up so I can actually donate money. And I'm like, when you throw out Red Boys, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel important. So I take that. Krusty Moko says, if he's that messed up, should he have been on that kind of duty? I mean, is he messed up, or is he just like, I'm in front of this car, I've already been run over once, the car's coming at me again? He has a better appreciation for it. I don't think he doesn't just walk in front of a car and go, ah! But like, he's like, stop, get out of the car, and they come after him. It's just like if he's been attacked by a dog, or he's been attacked by a guy with a knife, he understands it a little more, has a better appreciation for it. They're like, oh my God, getting stabbed really fucking sucks. Bop, 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 bop. Like, that's what he's going to be able to articulate for what's going on there. As I said, it's super easy. I'll work on that. Now, as we go from here, we are... they are doing this here. And we now have some updates on some stuff. So some stuff has happened. One of the first thing that's happened so far today is that there was an incident out west with ICE today. And this is from the Department of Homeland Security. So they point out that some Border Patrol agents were conducting a targeted stop in Portland, Oregon. The passenger of the vehicle and a target was a Venezuelan illegal alien affiliated with Tren de Aragua, Tren de Arugula. With the prostitution ring involved in a recent shooting in Portland. No way. Say it ain't so. The vehicle drivers believe a member of the vicious gang Tren de Aragua, and the agents identified themselves as the occupants. The driver weaponized his vehicle and attempted to run over law enforcement. Fearing for his life and safety, the agent fired a defensive shot. The driver drove off with the passenger fleeing the scene, and more is going on. So another, this is how this stuff starts going. It's how stuff starts going. But guys, when the men with guns tell you to stop, stop. El Stapo. It's the safest thing you could do. It's actually the smartest thing you can do. Because if you're worried that the cops are insane people who will kill you, don't give them any reason to be insane and kill you. By doing what they say, your odds of that just drastically drop. Almost to zero. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but going like this, saying, okay, I'm under arrest, I give up, really makes it hard for you to get killed. Something to think about there. What if you have warrants? If you have warrants, you got to take your pinch like a man. You know, it sucks, but that's a problem. When you have a warrant, you always have, there's a number over your head, and eventually that number gets called. And when your number gets called, you know, you're going to have to deal with it. So I would just point that out. Like that's really what I would do there. So, Meme Copium, the scooper himself, the head of the scoopers, that sand lover, that silica file. Man, you know, like when he wakes up in the morning, he's just rolling around in all that silica particulate. You know, hit and run that like button, chat. Thank you, Meme. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Now, there were some things that have happened. Also, there's some video of stuff that's going on. This is actually very ironic here. There's a protest tonight in honor of Megan Good or Renee Good. And here we go. This is very, very ironic. From Status Quo. It's also, they have a YouTube channel and whatnot, but this is on their Twitter. These are people in the protest for Renee Good.
Who voted for Trump, and they completely disown that. They don't believe in that anymore. The Republican.
Wait, I thought you could just get out of the way. What do you mean you're getting hit? No. Get out of the way. I thought that's what you're supposed to do.
Whoa.
See, why did you get out of the way? I thought not getting run over at slow speeds is no big deal. I thought that's how this worked. He's not going that fast. It's not hurting you.
Whoa.
What's the big deal? Get out of the way. It's a car. Let him escape. You don't want to box people in and make them feel threatened. What kind of moron gets in front of a car? But this is different, apparently. This is different.
Just watch the car nearly run over a protester. Maybe they did hit the protester.
Get out of the way. He didn't move.
We're seeing some of the protesters chase down that car.
No.
Yep, we're good.
Who voted for Trump, and they completely.
It's very interesting in that regard. There are other things that have happened today. There have been some protests out in Minneapolis. Things got a little dicey after a while. Nick Soder was on the ground. He covered some stuff that went down out there in Minneapolis. And this was actually kind of funny. So here we go. And also, like a true fascist regime, instead of guns, are using paintball guns. The hallmark of fascist regimes using less lethal weapons. But yes, what this guy did, he wanted to fuck around, and yes, they chased his pants down. So, yeah.
Hey, how's it going, man? Good to see you.
Back up.
I like how this guy's, you know what, this is, and I will say, I saw this earlier, and it brought me back. You know, like, when you're playing with paintball, what happens? I'm always the guy that has to screw around my hopper. My hopper would never work. If it had auto feed, it was always a disaster. But, you know, like, that takes me back to being in, like, high school, playing with my Tipman. It's like, God, why won't you just work? Like, I totally feel this guy's pain right here. He's just like, why does my hopper suck?
Back up.
He's like, it won't work. Yeah. Oh, no, he's having air problems. Uh-oh, that's even worse.
Dude, running with all that gear on?
Who is the chief in charge? Back up. I am medical. Don't worry about it. We have our own medical. We need a real one.
Yes, because we really want the Antifa medical showing up.
Well, we won't.
So that one was funny just because the guy was running and he got chased down like those guys, and it's just like, and they just, you know, he's like hauling ass and they're just catching up to him. But anyways, there's more and more. Here's some people out. So
I was just saying, like, one, in Afghanistan, we never wore masks. I went on 4 deployments.
We totally terrorized people in Afghanistan. If you're riding a moped, there's a chance we blew it up. Like, are you arguing we didn't kill a lot of people in Afghanistan, brother? Are you gonna say that? This is totally not like Afghanistan. It's like, at least here we don't J-damn weddings full of people. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Come on.
The only time we would wear like a face covering is maybe if it was cold and my guys were on a, you know, you were pulling security somewhere, or maybe it was dusty, you wore a shamag or whatever. But we didn't wear masks. Again, this officer is not wearing a mask. He's one of the leaders. That's smart. No one here is going to be going after him. If you're fighting the actual cartels and you're on the border, fine. If you want to protect your identity, totally makes sense.
Yeah, Antifa's totally not going to come after this guy. They're totally not going to come after this guy. Derna says, I pointed a gun at a lot of people in Afghanistan. I don't think they liked it. Yeah.
But they're wearing all this gear.
He's a ranger. I'm sure he's totally was a ranger.
For no reason. This is coming from the top. They shouldn't have, they should have low vis, bulletproof vests, or they should wear their fucking vests underneath a smock. If you're going to be doing this, ICE should not be running around. None of these guys should be running around in plate carriers against civilians. And they just got this huge budget, so why are they not wearing low-vis stuff? You know, it just makes no sense. It's here to intimidate everyone here, and they're trying to get. And then obviously Bovino. I mean, I don't know what he was doing. He took some glamour shots with a trench coat, and they're just trolling people. Yeah, he took it with a trench coat to look like he was some SS officer, literally. I was just like, I'm a history guy. I studied history, European history, World War II. And then as an officer, we studied a lot of history.
Yeah, this totally is not like anything that's happened before, though. Like, if you really thought, like, and this is the thing I keep pointing out, if you really thought this was like 1939 and the Nazis were coming back, why aren't you fucking shooting people? Like, if you really think it's time, like, that's the part that pisses me off. If you really think that Hitler's at the doorstep, there's only one way to stop Hitler, and it's not with tweets. There's only one way the Nazis were dealt with, and that was dealt with the barrel of a gun. And the fact you're not doing that, and the fact you feel free to talk out in front of an ICE facility, shows that's not really happening. So this shit is really infuriating at this point. It's just absolutely insane and completely obnoxious. So from here, guys, things did escalate a little bit more. We do have from the state of Minnesota now, Governor Tim Walz. Yes, the illustrious Tampon Tim himself. We talked about it last night. He was thinking about possibly deploying the National Guard. Well, he did. And let's see here. Let's see here. From here, we have the state of Minnesota, Governor Tampon Tim. And he has an executive order. It's dated today, January 8th, so it's fresh. Preparing resources to provide public safety assistance. And he says, as the governor of the state of Minnesota, by the authority vested in me by the state constitution, he points out that on January 7th, ICE agents shot and killed Renee Good in South Minneapolis. The shooting follows a government surge of mass immigration officials. Ooh, scary. They have indiscriminately arrested people off the street. Sometimes they have. Sometimes they have fucked up. Intimidated our friends and neighbors. Well, if you're illegal, yeah, I guess I would be scared. And now cause a loss of life. Yeah, that's all in baby girls' hands. Minnesotans are fearing scared, angry, and disillusioned. Minnesotans are exercising the rights to express disagreement with federal policies and tactics. Federal immigration officials have increased tensions, caused chaos, and left our state less safe. Based, chat. The most based. I'm just telling you guys, based. And why is this not working here? Hold on. There we go. That's working better. That's working better. I was wondering why things were looking a little weird. He says, part of ongoing planning activities in response to potential capacity concerns from local leaders, it is important to ensure optimal readiness in the case of changes to the public safety environment. That includes preparedness, includes state assistance from the National Guard. The National Guard can assist with preparation and planning activities in support of law enforcement. He says the Guard can also support local law enforcement efforts to protect life and property, ensure safety, and protect freedom of speech by allowing for peaceful demonstrations. So what's he doing? Is he actually ordering the National Guard out in the street? No. He's saying the National Guard should undertake such public safety activities only where local law enforcement resources have been exhausted. What does that mean? What does that mean? How is that going to work? How do we designate this? Well, I think that's part of it. This is a way to cop out. I don't have to do it if I don't define it. He says bringing personnel, equipment, and facilities to state active duty will allow the Guard to assist with preparation and planning. It'll allow the Guard to be ready to quickly support law enforcement activities as needed to prevent threats to public safety. So he says for all of these reasons, and notice he's just talking about protecting peace and safety, which he's allowed to do as governor. That's a very, very vague and mild term. That's how he gets away with this. So he says the Adjutant General, the head of the Minnesota National Guard, will order to state active duty the personnel, equipment, and facilities required to coordinate public safety and security services. So it's probably going to be headquarters and communications and various things like that. He's not calling in riot troops yet. And they will come in from across the state at a time deemed. Now, here's the thing. He will do this. He will order to state active duty these people at a time deemed appropriate by the Adjutant General. So not even right now. Tim Walz is such a pussy. I'm going to call it the National Guard. When? You'll see. You'll see. I'll let you know when that happens. You see, I told him he could do it when he consults with me. And for such a period of time is necessary to coordinate and support public safety. So he's not ordering them out yet. He's not ordering them out yet. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? He's a little scared. He's scared. Yes. You just wait. You just wait. You just wait. And it says the Adjutant General is authorized to procure goods and services. Okay. Cost of the assistance will be paid from the general fund as allowed by Minnesota statutes. Well, I'm sure, they're going to, I don't know what you're going to do since all the Somali daycares are closed. So this order remains effective until it is properly rescinded on December 31st, 2026 or earlier. They say if any provision is determined to be invalid, will not affect the enforceability. It's called a severability clause. Any other provision is executive order. Rather than the invalid provision will be modified to make it enforceable. Signed, Tamponic Tim. So, yes, the Minnesota Guard's kind of getting involved, but this is the most passive-aggressive, not good way to do it. This is cucked. Which I guess makes sense. It's Tim Walz. But this is absolutely cuckinosis here. In response to this chat, and I kind of get the feeling we're going to see something here. This is new video that's come out in the past 15, 20 minutes. We're going to see a resurgence of Chaz, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, going forward. This is not good. And honestly, if we're gonna look at this is how Chop and Chaz started in Seattle. And Governor Walz is not going to do anything about it. But guess what? People who are insurrection, guess what? This is an insurrection. These morons, you don't like Trump. Guess what you're doing? You are giving Trump everything you can to support him. Because guess what he could say? Look, these people are lawless. They're doing whatever they want. They're starting enclaves where they refuse federal authority. This is 100% easy. This is 100% easy for this. 100% easy for this. Yeah, this is the Insurrection Act. You guys are playing right into his hands. And yes, over on Rumble, as I said before, yes, coded friend, yes. If Tim Walz were to activate the National Guard to obstruct ICE, President Trump could do what Eisenhower did and tell them go back to their. He could federalize them and tell them to go home. And guess what? They go home and then they can't be involved. So there are ways to deal with it, even if Walz tried to do it. But Walz doesn't want to do it. He's too scared. That's why he did this half measure. But guys, this is fucking, yeah. Broke jaw. Jake Paul says no. These are traditional Somali huts. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what happens though. So they're out working, and you can laugh, but this is how it starts. And imagine if you fucking have to live here. This is gonna suck. And they're starting more and more barricades, and you know that the state of Minnesota, and the Minneapolis police are going to let this happen. Think about if you tried to do this on your street, what would happen? You'd immediately be stopped. So, yeah. Yeah, this is officially, guys, this is good. We're in Chaz mode. Yeah. Which I still wonder, because technically if they don't recognize any laws, you can kill people there and it's legal, right? I'm just saying. But I am surprised they're letting somebody film this, because when we dealt with when Chaz and Chop happened, anytime somebody had a camera, they got attacked. So I'm very surprised that has happened yet. But yeah, here we are. Here we are on this, and yeah. It's only gonna get worse, chat. You know, this is only gonna get worse, and we're gonna be lucky to have lived through it. Just be careful out there, chat. Just be careful. Just protect your neck. Protect your neck. Okay. Yeah, some people just wants to live in the slums and make others suffer with it. Sure, but this is just, yeah. Yeah, revolutionaries, man. Yeah, I know, but it doesn't help that, like, this weekend in the Midwest, like, today was like 55, man. It was like flip-flop weather outside. It was beautiful. And from here, I think this weekend it's going to be, like, amazing. Amazing, at least in my neck. It's going to be like 65. It's going to be really good. Like, yeah, right now it's 55 still, and like it's only going to get better from here. In fact, I'm going to open the window. Yeah. Tomorrow it's going to be 60. Like, buddy, this is like perfect out. And you know, it's going to be a day or two of nice weather. So, MD Knight saying, are those people who put up barricades guilty of kidnapping? No, not yet. Not yet, but certainly there are going to be some issues there. So it definitely could happen. Yeah, they are revolutionary wannabes. Oh, I agree. I hope Trump invokes the insurrection. I hope he doesn't. I hope cooler heads prevail. I don't want him to have to go all the way. I know that may surprise some of you, but I don't want him to have to do this. I don't want it to have to happen. Because then it's a Pandora's box that we don't close. We don't close at all. So, Bug says, wait, is it 60 degrees below freezing? Yes, I guess if you're in California or Florida, yes, below 60 is freezing. So, but there we go. Oh, yeah. So just keep it in mind, guys. This will get out of hand, and we will be lucky to live through it. To quote the great Fred Dalton Thompson. Now, moving on, guys. This is something we covered back in a couple weeks ago. Actually, probably about 2 months ago. And this is it concerns the American Bar Association. And ultimately, guys, the American Bar Association doesn't have any authority over attorneys. The American Bar Association is a voluntary organization, but they do have one thing that they are pretty important for. And the biggest thing that they're important for is law school accreditation. Because to take the bar exam in almost every state, except California, you have to go to an ABA accredited law school. So guess who gets to decide your standards, if you're good enough for it or not? It's a problem. It's a massive problem. The ABA is very political. Well, people are starting to buck on that issue and buck that trend. And one of them is the Supreme Court of Texas, because they want to be able to let people from non-ABA accredited law schools, which used to be a death knell for a law school. Yeah, we'll let you come take our bar. We'll let you get admitted. Well, the Supreme Court of Texas finally fought on that, and they went all in on this. And they approved amendments governing admission to the Texas bar. And this is huge, because right now, from what's understood out there, the state of Tennessee is looking at this, and so is the state of Florida. Like, ooh, like they're looking at this to see ideas. So they point out here, in April, and I think it was over the summer we talked about it, the court invited comments on the law school accreditation component. And they wanted to see, should we reduce or end the rules reliance on American Bar Association, or should we have alternatives to consider? And then in September, the court proposed amendments and again invited comment. And they say no additional changes have been made to the proposed amendments following the comment period. And they say this order gives final approval, and it's effective immediately. This order also gives final approval to a list of initial law schools approved by the court as satisfying the law study requirements for licensure. And we're going to go through those. And this list includes all law schools that are currently approved under the court's existing rules. So if you're already qualified under that, it's just, even if you're not ABA accredited, do you meet our rules? And this is how it should be. States should be in the ones who decide who they allow and who they don't allow, not the American Bar Association. And the court says it wants to provide stability, certainty, and flexibility to currently approved law schools by guaranteeing ongoing schools if they satisfy a set of simple, objective, and ideologically neutral criteria. And the ABA is run by a bunch of left-wing lunatics, using metrics no more onerous than currently required. And at this time, the court has concluded that a law school already on the list need only ensure compliance with ABA Standard 316, 502, 503, and 509. And why do they want to do this? It intends to preserve the portability of Texas law school degrees into other states and preserve the portability of out-of-state law school degrees into Texas. It doesn't intend to impose additional accreditation or anything at all, or the administrative burdens on currently approved schools. They will not consider the fact the law school loses ABA accreditation to be sufficient grounds for removal from Texas. Because if you went to a law school and they took away your ABA accreditation, prior to this, Texas would say, sorry, you cannot take the bar. They intend to develop, along with the Texas law examiners, a deliberative approach to requests from law schools not currently accredited by the ABA. And they don't anticipate immediate changes because it's going to take a while. They may consider in the future returning to greater reliance on a multi-state accrediting entity other than the ABA. So they talk about what they're doing here. They want to submit a couple different orders. And they put out here, an approved law school means a law school approved by the Supreme Court. And that's what it should be. It shouldn't be an independent organization. It should not be an independent organization out there. The Supreme Court should be the one who governs who the fuck gets into their state. Not the ABA. The ABA, fuck them. It should never be that. It should never be that. But here are the currently approved law schools that satisfy the law study requirements for admission to the Texas bar. You got some ones that are boring, like Akron. Who goes there? Appalachian, who goes there? Well, actually, Matthew Harden went there. Kurt went to Akron. You got all these other schools on here, like Baylor, Buffalo, Cal Berkeley. I mean, that's actually a good one. UCLA, boring. Case Western, boring. Chicago, boring. Columbia, boring. Cornell, boring. Who would go to Cornell? Florida, boring. George Mason, boring. Georgetown, boring. Boring, 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 boring. Who would go to all that crap? Who would go to all that crap? Harvard, boring. North Carolina, boring. NYU, boring. Who would look at these shitty places? The Ohio State. God, Texas, why did you have to do that? But once again, boring. Boring. Look at all these shitty fucking schools. Look at all these shitty schools. Nobody cares about any of these places. Mississippi, boring. Mitchell Hamline, boring. Who the hell would go there? Blah, 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 blah. None of these places. Seton Hall, boring. Who the hell would go there? University of USC, boring. Stanford, boring. Temple, boring. Texas A&M, boring. Texas, boring. Yale, blah, blah. Toledo. Now that right there, that's a school for scholars. Let me tell you what. Like, that is right there. Woohoo. Let me tell you what. All these other scrub schools, nobody cares about. But Toledo, let me tell you what. The 7th best law school in the state of Ohio. It is the jewel. It is the jewel and the foundation, the bedrock of jurisprudence in Northwest Ohio. It truly is the best place to go. Roger Williams is on the list, one of the few lists we're on. I didn't realize Roger Williams was a law school. I didn't realize it had one. But that's the best school, let me tell you what. Harbor Warble says 7 of 9. Actually, hold on. Let me get there's Toledo, Akron, Ohio Northern, Case, Cleveland State. Toledo, Ohio Northern, Case, Cleveland State, Akron, Dayton, Capital, OSU, Cincinnati, and Cincinnati, and then whatever the hell the one is in Kentucky. Miami doesn't have a. That's not Miami. That's like Florida, Miami. 2.0 just said Miami. Yes, Miami College. Everybody thinks there's a law school there. There isn't, which would be based if they did. But yeah, 7 of 9. There's like 9 law schools in the state of Ohio. So oof. That's rough. That's rough. What are you talking about, sweetheart? What are you talking about? Are you reading the list too? Okay, well, I was about to say there's only one Ohio State on the list, sweetheart. No, that's why I'm confused. I wasn't sure what you meant. No, but there's no law school at Miami College. Miami, Ohio, there's no law school there. Everybody thinks there is, but there's not. Don't worry. Like, I think everybody thinks that. For a long time, I thought there was one there too. As anybody see my girlfriend? I don't have a girlfriend. I have a fiance. I have a woman that I'm going to marry. But yes, we have seen her, Karen. Why didn't you go to Toledo? Keopathis is 7 of 9. Nerd. That's the one chick everybody wanted to see naked, but they couldn't, right? On Deep Space Nine. Yes. I don't know, though. I don't know for sure. But anyways, has anybody ever seen Fiance? Yes, we have seen 2.0. Her face has been shared with the world. So But anyways, chat, there, scroll back down and show me Stetson, Debbie says. Okay. Stetson right here. Stetson. But anyways, chat, this is it's the only one that matters. Texas recognizes. So I have a chance in Texas, chat. When they break away, I can make my way there. Making my way downtown. So it's nice to see that they're doing this. It's nice to see they're breaking the grip of the American Bar Association that, make the commies suffer is not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. So good news there. Good news, chat. Good news all around. And then let me bring this up here because we got a comment, a rumble. Derna says Toledo fakes fat people, I reckon. Well, yeah, but I wasn't that fat back then. So let me see here. Where is the anime guy says Maoist and Bolsheviks are on the move. Yes, they are. My give a fuck button is burned out. The commies will have to be dealt with. Well, that's true. That's true. Certainly. I don't disagree. Don't disagree. Zakusa says Callisto's who you wanted to see naked. I have no idea. I have no idea who the fuck Callisto is. So I just know there's like the black guy, Cisco, because the thong song. Like that's all I really know of. That's all I really know there, chat. So I'm sorry. And yes, I know it as the thong song, guys. So you're gonna have to suffer on that one. That tong to tong tong tong. Oh. So I don't know him otherwise. Pepsi Man. He's been a member for 10 months. Thank you, Pepsi Man. He says, yes, we love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our military. They're important. Yes, to quote the great Boba. Yes. Thank you. Copy Kitty's gifting wide sob. Thank you. And then a Bob Tube for $5 Australian doodles says, not sure why you're dressed like a mechanic, but here's $5. Thank you. Somebody has to fix the Subarus out there in the garage. Stephen Cooper says, the lefties really thought they had you with all the fat jokes. Little they know, no one does it better than us. Well, that's true. That's true. Stephen Cooper says, I'm glad to see Army and especially Delta getting to put some work in. He's referring to taking President Maduro out of Venezuela. Yes, that was a Delta Force ran operation straight out of a video game. It's so cool. I can only imagine if they can make that a video game level somewhere. In this way, we can keep our combat controllers alive and not abandoned. Yes, everybody got some work. And Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, Sean, you would make a great side character in GTA 6. That would be fun. Blade 2.0, did you see that Marriott? Do you see the Marriott that docks the ICE agents? No. But, I don't think doxing is a crime. I should have foreseen this and just, had it done in a certain way to avoid doxing issues. The fact they weren't preparing for that, that's on them, man. People are going to find your names out. Plan accordingly. Nobody's anonymous forever. And if your job, if your existence is required to be anonymous, realize that one day it won't. You won't be anonymous. The internet's a good tool of that. So, Radcon says I tagged you in a video where a Honduras congressman got hit with some type of bomb. Yeah, she got hit with some sort of firework device. I saw that, and it was very interesting. She got attacked, and just right at the back of her head, and looks like she'll survive. Thankfully, I don't think it was meant to kill her. I think it was meant to just stun her. So, but yes, I don't know if we'll be allowed to show that here. Oh, Tank Rat for 25. Emirati Durhams. Thank you. Thank you very much. It says, I don't understand people. If a cop stops you and arrests / detains you and it is legal wrong, just obey and sue after everything is done. Pretty much. That's all I can advise you to do. And also, here's the other big thing. Well, I think it's illegal. And I've had clients who they thought they were resisting what they thought was illegal orders and whatnot. And you know what it turns out? They were wrong. And then you're in court and you're like, well, I thought I was right, but you're not. And now they're like, uh-oh. They're like, I didn't know that. I'm like, well, now you do, and now you're in trouble. So, yes. And then Blade 2.0 says, what you don't understand, oh, I fully understand it, is that these people know what they're doing is illegal and they do it anyway. Oh, I fully understand that. I fully understand that. Brandon the Anime Guy says, for $2, thank you, and I appreciate this. Spotted me a 5 on the green machine. Cheers. Well, thank you. SB Seller says, Titmans are DSP excuses even in real life. Yes. Nothing I could do. Buggy mechanics in the gun, chat. The squeegee was buggy. It didn't work right. Lawful Lucas says, ugh, the Titmans were such shit. No, they weren't. I mean, for what they were, for like $150 getting you in a game and like you could effectively fight with it, you know, before the ages of like the speed triggers, like, and that kind of crap, like in Woods Ball, that was, you know, you put a flatline, you get like $100 flatline barrel on that son of a bitch. Whoo, chat. You put a flatline barrel on your frickin' Titman, ooh, buddy. If you know, you know. And Bob Too says that medic in the video we're watching only has estrogen shots in his med kit. Yes. I give him HRT. And another says for $10. Thank you. Saying, is Minnesota the least American state? It's competing for it. Remember, in Minnesota, their Democrat Party is the Democrat Farmer and Labor Party. That's actually what they're called. You know, it's literally called the Minnesota Democratic and Farmer Labor Party. Farms and labor, huh? You know, how are farms generally thought of? Well, they're thought of with this thing called the sickle. And labor, what is labor? Factory workers. They have the hammer. Huh. That's really catchy. You know, what if we take the hammer and the sickle and we go like this? What could happen with that, chat? Gee, I wonder what could happen if we take the hammer and the sickle together. Like, what do you think would happen? What do you think would happen if we did that? I mean, I'm just thinking here, like, we could spitball. Like, think about how you could do this. You could do, like, the sickle, and you could have, like, the hammer, like this. I mean, that's brilliant. Like, somebody might be able to make, like, think about, like, that. You can make a flag out of that. You can make a flag out of the hammer and the sickle. Yeah, so yes, it's pretty much one of the least American states, yes. Literally, that's their Democrat Party. So, yes, X marks the spot. People's Defender says, I'm not ashamed of myself. I'm not asking you to be. I'm just, you know, it is what it is. So, there you go, chat. There you go. It's just something to think about there. Just something to think about. Now, don't forget the star. Okay, yeah. Where does the star go on the hammer and the sickle? All right, so it goes at the top of the sickle, doesn't it? Yeah, there's like a star right here. There. I got your star. There you go. Now we just need a picture of Laventry Berry of fucking little girls. You know, because that was what he did. Anyways, yes, this is the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party. It's like, but yes, it's gonna be a little tough there. It's gonna be a little tough there. All right. Yes, it's literally on the screen. It says K. Yes. Oh. Yes, that's right, Vinyl. Yes, in Minnesota, they would have the goo flags. Yes, that's it, chat. Like, you're just... Aaron's the commandant. You will eat the goo. Yeah. Oh, no. Zakuza says, no, Sean, we already have the Somalia flag for Minnesota. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes, the star of Somalia rises above the hammer and the sickle. Well, there's that, too. Ah. Erica says, this is arts class. Yes. Duraco says, what would you do if those revolutionaries tried to storm your house? Well, if I got enough time to get ready, holy fuck, it's going to look like Omaha Beach and, like, it's going to look like the opening of Saving Private Ryan. Let me tell you what. Whoa. I don't know how many of it's going to take, but we'll find out. We will find out. And we'll find out if my ready stash, like my stash of ready mags, is enough. And we'll find out if I have enough armor-piercing ammunition on hand, because I intend to find out if they come into my house. Oh, man. And I'll bust out the party mix of, like, M193, SS109, and then, like, a little bit of M855 and M856. Because I'll have the tracer rounds in there, and it's like a 1 in. I'll do like a 1 in 3. Well, actually, it's 1 in 5 tracer mix. But if I knew they were coming, I would do 1 in 3. But yeah, we'll have fun with that shit, chat. We'll have some fucking fun. Oh, buddy. It'd be great. It would be great. Do I have black tip? No, I don't have M855A1. Yes, M856 is tracer. Yes, but I have M855 as well. Can I help you? I have a lot of surplus standing mags. If you would like to send me magazines, please, to the address below at the P.O. Box. I have a ton of magazines, but if you want to send me magazines, I will not turn those down. I will not turn down magazines. I told 2.0 this. Get me model stuff, or if people don't know what to get me, buy me 5.56, buy me 9mm, buy me Beretta mags, buy me Glock magazines, or buy me AR-15 magazines. Buy whatever. And eventually, if I get the G3 thing going, buy me G3 mags, or if I do a plastic off, which I don't know what the whole 3D printer dying thing. Maybe we'll do a plastic off try some point here soon. AK mags too. Never bad ideas, chat. Never bad ideas. It'd be super safe fun. Well, I don't know. If people were coming in the house, I would just, like, it only takes, at like 100% infill, it only takes like 9 minutes to print out a Yankee Boogle. So I would print out a Yankee Boogle and just click that bitch in, and we would just go. We would just go with the Yankee Boogle. So would I stream it for you guys? Yes, I would. It'd be so much fun. Oh, yeah. It'll be fun. Fenris says, I lived in Omaha for 14 years, and now I'm in Ohio. Born and raised here with the backhoes and the haulers. Yes. If you want to send me magazines, P.O. Box 716 in Willoughby, Ohio. 44096. Jeremiah Maddox says 77 grain hollow point is what you seek. Yeah, but I get it, but it's still like 77 grain's good. But you know what? Like, part of my plan soon is, like, I'm kind of waffling at, like, doing a 20-inch barrel, because out of a 20-inch barrel, when people have done the armor testing, like, a 20-inch barrel is like a laser gun with 5.56 ammunition, especially like M193 ball ammo. It turns into a fucking laser gun. It's like Warhammer with the las gun. It just like right through everything. And for a 20-inch barrel, I can put a collapsing stock on the back of it. And now I've got like a C7A2 clone from the Canadians, which, I mean, if it comes game time, I'm basically posting up at the end of a hallway and just... So I don't know. I'm kind of torn there, chat. So, do you want some tannerite and a mannequin? Yeah, maybe. 69 grain OTMs have some great loadings. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Oh, yes, guys, please. 100 more subs and we can get to 27K. That's the goal. So, get a law tactical folder. I've seen those. I don't know, man. That makes me a little... I don't know. I still worry about those being weak spots. Jeremiah says, I run 11.5 by the bed. I mean, I run a 16-inch. Like, I run the gun I bought back in 2008. Like, I bought it in August of 2008 when I realized, like, Obama was probably going to win. And I was like, well, shit. I just run a 16-inch barrel. Like, that's my home defense gun. And if you were to look at it, you guys would say, oh, wow, that is like peak 2011. And yes, it is. It is. I need to get the race gun all set up more all the way there. So, yes. So. All right, guys. Let's keep going here. What else do we have now? Moving on to some other stuff that has happened here. Guys, remember Rob Reiner and his wife? They were brutally murdered recently. And the suspect in that, the main party being accused, is Nick Reiner, their son right here, who, I'm not going to lie, doesn't he look 100% like Fudbusters? He looks like Matt LaRosier. It's like, anyways, he did kill his mom and he did kill his dad. Like, I don't think that's out of the question here. It's very likely he's been suffering from some sort of severe mental health issues. And once again, chat, we talked about this. People who have real severe mental health problems, like we all have mental health problems. We all struggle with them. And that's okay. But for somebody like him, apparently he has schizophrenia, which doesn't automatically mean that those people are dangerous, but it's very easy for somebody with schizophrenia to have like really bad schizophrenia, and they can be really dangerous at that point. And it doesn't help that people who have mental health problems generally go to start using drugs to help medicate and cope. And when you're especially schizophrenics, they will try all kinds of stuff. And it sounds like he had a lot of drug issues. And, back when he did it last month, he killed him. He killed his mom. He killed his dad. Well, the attorney that he had at the time was Alan Jackson. Yes, that Alan Jackson. From the Karen Reed trial. And let's see here. From this, though, Alan Jackson has withdrawn his representation. Today, Nick Reiner was set for arraignment, but Alan Jackson instead, and we're going to cover it when it happens, and I thought we'd be able to cover it today. Anyway, he told a judge today that he was removing himself from the case. Yesterday. He said, I have no choice but to step down as counsel of record. Now, why is that? We don't really know yet. And we're going to speculate on that here in a second. What he did, though, and he did this with enough time in advance, he told the court he was going to have to withdraw. Immediately, and this is because it was pre-planned, the Los Angeles County Public Defender's Office was there, and the judge asked them, will you take his appointment? Because he doesn't have any money. Nick Reiner's in prison. He's in jail. He doesn't have money of his own. So he's being represented by the public defender. Alan Jackson, you do the classy thing when, regardless of what your clients may do or say about you, you always do the classy thing. I wish them the very, very best moving forward. It doesn't matter what they do to you. You don't shit on your clients at all, okay? And then he insisted that Nick Reiner is still not guilty. You took him on. You got to represent the brand. You ride for it too. So here's Alan Jackson going in. And they point out that, obviously he did all of his famous stuff here. But as of now, Nick Reiner's faced with 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the December 14th deaths of his dad and mom. He's currently being held without bail in Los Angeles, which, when you commit a double murder, yeah, you're not going to get bail. That's kind of obvious. Like, I don't think anybody is surprised by that. And if he's convicted, he could face a maximum sentence of life without parole or the death penalty, because technically California still has the death penalty. Do they execute anybody? No, but it's till it's gone. It's always technically an action. Now, ultimately, yeah, this just kind of goes through everything here. But Nick Grinder's kind of discussed, like, he's had a history of drug addiction. He's spent weeks out on the streets and has been in and out of rehab since he's 15, which, for men, it's, onset of schizophrenia can happen in your mid-teens. As you get into your 20s, like, 18 to 25 is really when it could be bad. When you get to 30, you're generally safe. And then for males, again, there's another window of schizophrenia that opens up later on in life into your like late 50s into your 60s. That's really rare, though, that you develop it at that point. But for men, it's generally, if you can get to age 30, you probably have dodged a schizophrenia bullet for the most part. That's the traditional thing out there. So if you have it in your family or you're concerned you might be susceptible to it, if you're like 30 or older, you're generally safe. But anyways, all this happened here. Anyways, that does all the stuff for Rob Reiner there. Now, what happened? We don't really know, but I mean, it's when it comes to these things, this is, as I mentioned before, a judge that I used to, an older judge I had the pleasure of being in front of like once or twice. He mentioned it. He called it a Rule 1 violation, meaning Alan Jackson was not getting paid. And Rule 1 is to get paid. So, because I remember I had a case in front of him. I said, Your Honor, we're having some issues with my client. They haven't paid the retainer yet. And he said, oh, it sounds like a Rule 1 issue. I was like, come again? And Judge jokes like, Rule 1s get paid, counsel. I'm like, very true, Your Honor. Very true. Also, if you've ever watched Lincoln Lawyer, they had a problem with Mr. Green. Mr. Green was not making an appearance or helping out. Well, think about it. He just killed his mom and dad. Do you think his sister running the estate's going to be like, oh, yeah, sure, bro, spend a bunch of money? No, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. Like, that's not a surprise. That is not a surprise. And remember, he's a schizophrenic that is like homeless and lives out on the streets and does drugs. He doesn't have any money independently of himself either. So, yeah, he's going to need the public defender. And there's no shame in Alan Jackson withdrawing, because like, this is going to take a long time and a lot of effort. He's going to have to get paid. There's all kinds of things that have to happen. And if you get retained, when you start wanting experts and whatnot, guess what happens? That's all on you. So for Karen Reed had to pay for all those experts and all those things to happen. ARCA was Karen Reed had to pay for that. If Karen had a court-appointed attorney or the public defender, yeah, the court would pay or provide money for experts, but you don't get the stuff that Karen Reed got. You're going to get an expert or two, probably, not a million of them. And you're not going to get the quality of that. So there are some drawbacks when you are representing yourself, but there are a lot of advantages too. I mean, there's a lot of give and there's a lot of take. A lot of pros, a lot of cons. But yes, ultimately is getting paid. My cat's name is Karen, says, I'm betting on conflict of interest. I think I recall at some point yesterday, Alan Jackson made it clear it was not a conflict of interest issue. Or something got leaked where it wasn't a conflict of interest issue. It from what I understand. From what I understand, that's the case. But we don't really know for sure. It's always possible. My cat's name is Karen, said AJ was talking about 10 subpoenas before he withdrew. Do you think those two are related? No, I think he's just pointing out, like, they're going to be subpoenaing the shit of all kinds of doctors and everybody. So. Aaron's saying it's a Slayer rule. That's why he's not getting money. The Slayer statutes are not for that. Slayer statutes are that if you kill your parents or you kill somebody who's going to devise you money in a will, you don't get to get the proceeds of that. So, for example, if your parents put in their will, Aaron gets everything, you can't kill them and then take all the money. Now, that said, her sister, Nick's sister, the surviving heir. She could turn around and give him money if she wanted to. She's not stopped from doing that. But I'm sure she looked at this and said, fuck him, I'm not giving him a dime. So nothing's stopping her from giving the money. And the bigger thing is that estate has not been probated yet. So he's not entitled to any money right now anyway. He wouldn't be, unless there's already some preset disbursements that he gets. The estate hasn't been probated yet, so the Slayer statute wouldn't even really be invoked yet. It's just, I'm sure the sister has said, fuck this, we're done. I'm done with him, if I had to guess. But it is a good point, Aaron. It is a very good thing to bring up. Like, that's something that will go into play because Rob Reiner's worth at the time of death was, what was Rob Reiner's net worth? Rob Reiner, net worth. His net worth, at this point, was $200 million roughly. Which I didn't realize. God damn, that's a lot, actually. And from what I understand, though, they have not just the 2 kids. Actually, from what it looks like, they have 4. So if that's the case, it would have been a 4-way split. Well, now it'll be a 3-way split. Or if Nick Reiner had children who were adults or even just other children, it would skip to them. But yes, it's here it looks like he's got, how many kids does he have? Yeah, Rob Reiner has 4 children. Okay. So yeah. Now only 3 of them get money, but I'm sure the other 3 kids looked at each other and said, fuck this guy. We're not giving him a goddamn dime of money. And fair enough. I think you can do that. Let's see. Brad is saying she wants more of the inheritance by disqualifying him. Well, sure, but she automatically would that automatically would happen. I'm just saying right now, she's probably talked to the people in charge of the estate, and I'm sure the siblings have, and said, we are not doing this. Is ultimately what that's come down to. So I'm sure he has not gotten access to the money. And the family said, no, we're not paying for it. And at that point, Alan Jackson's going to be like, well, I'm about time to hit the dusty trail. So how much is tied up in real estate? They're probably quite a bit. Apparently he's deep in publishing. Really? Well, hey, there's a lot of ways to make that nuts. So good on him. Let's see. Mega Mobas says, hi, just popped in. Hi, Sean in chat. Your dulcet tones will put me into a blissful sleep. See, I don't understand when people talk like my voice. I sound like I talk like this when I listen to myself. So that's how I sound to myself when I listen back. So I don't know how people are like, I like your voice. I'm like, I have no idea. You guys must be fucking deaf. Just saying. Okay, so let me see here. Zakuza saying his diagnosis was really done really late in life. Really? And Hunchy Dirty Roof says a 20-inch AR with 62 grain rounds is scary as fuck. Well, there we go. Huh. K-Pot Broccoli or Crockpot Broccoli says Azu fragmenting 5.56 drone killing rounds are gnarly. Yeah, but when it comes to people, I'm going to want to use the ones that put holes through them. That's guaranteed to take care of people. Gary says your voice is good. Don't take that from yourself. But I think that's actually a not uncommon thing. People, when they listen to their voice, they think their voice sounds awful. I think that's actually a very common, I don't think it's common, but it's not a rare thing for people to deal with. Everyone hears their own voice deeper than it really is. Yeah, so let's see here. It really is because when you hear yourself talk in real life, your voice is echoing off your skull. So your recorded voice is your terrible recorded voice is your real voice. Well, that's what I said. My voice sounds fucking awful to me. So Razor said, I hate to listen to myself on the phone or a meeting recording. I hear myself as shrill and high pitched. Yes. So Kuz says, I hate listening back to my streams. Oh, you even like hate hearing the sound of your voice? I hate the sound of my voice too. Yeah. I'm with you, Sean. Can't stand hearings of myself. Well, yeah. All right. All right, guys. Moving on from there, we are moving on to. Oh, actually, hold on. I gotta fix this. There's a little bit of stuff that needs switched around. Okay. We are going on to something that's kind of fun. Something that's kind of fun here. Near and dear to my heart. Actually, no, you know what? We'll do this another day. That's going to be, wait, it's 45 pages. Yeah, we'll do this another day. That's not fair to do. That's not fair to do. Not fair to do at all. We're actually going to move on to something from the Constitution, chat. Something from the Constitution. A letter of marque. And that's MARQUE. A letter of marque and reprisal. This takes us back to the founding of our nation. When you guys remember hearing about the privateers, a letter of marque is basically an authorization, a license to engage in state-sanctioned piracy. Why would you use a letter of marque? Well, if you don't have a navy, but you live in a country where there are a bunch of boats that are available that are privately owned, you could go up to those people and say, we will issue a permission slip to go engage in piracy. That way, if you get caught, they won't hang you as a pirate. Now, that doesn't mean they will, but under international law and the customs and norms of the time, you would not be set to be considered as a pirate. That doesn't guarantee you, but that's what it would be and what it's supposed to be. It is common in the age of sail, and that means, with sailing ships, it kind of went out of practice after a long time. But it allowed you to capture boats. And what would happen is, for a privateer, your job would go out and do commerce raiding. You would raid commerce ships. You would raid supply ships. You would raid the enemy country's commercial vessels and not sink them. You could do that, but you want to make money. So what you would do is you would capture the boat and you would bring it back and return it as a prize. And you brought it back as a prize. And that was a common thing to do, is you would find the boat, you would chase it down and come up beside it and tell it to surrender, or you'd sink it. And if they were smart, they would surrender. You would take it over and bring it back. And an admiralty court would adjudicate who gets the ship, what's going on, and what you're entitled to. And you would get prize money. Now, you would do that instead of building a navy, because you can't build a navy fast enough. Now, this is very common. People would finance their own ships to get the prize money. And this happened all the time. Letters of marque were common. And this is a great example of, it literally looked like a fucking permission slip, guys. I am not joking. This is a great example of a letter of marque. This is what a letter of marque would look like. And it would be a letter of marque. And it would be, this is your permission to go out and commerce raid. It was a very real thing. Now, with that, things kind of slowed down after the Napoleonic Wars. It kind of started dying out. It was very common throughout the beginning of America's history to grant letters of marque. And you might say, well, wait, how do you grant letters of marque? Well, the issuing them, the Continental Congress could do it. And then the Constitution allowed it. And guys, this is 100% in the Constitution. Oh, I just deleted the thing here. But it's explicitly stated in the Constitution. In this fact, one of my bigger arguments for the fact that you are allowed to own whatever weapons you can own. There's no limit on the weapons you could own. You could own weapons of war. Why? Because in the Constitution itself, Article 1, Section 8 of the fucking Constitution, it's in there that the Congress can issue letters of marque and reprisal. And if Congress can issue a letter of marque and reprisal, that means it can authorize me to engage in state-sanctioned piracy. Well, guess what? I need basically a battleship or a frigate of my own with the most high-tech weaponry available, privately owned. The government didn't supply you with cannons or crew or equipment. No, like you had to supply the whole thing. You had to supply the boat. You had to supply the men. You had to supply the material. You had to supply your own cannons and weapons. It was all on you to do. So you can see here, Article 1, and you get all the way down to Section 8. And Section 8 gets into the things it can do. Congress has the power to collect and lay taxes. Okay. It can borrow money. It can regulate commerce, which, that clause. To establish a uniform rule of naturalization. By the way, get ready to watch Ryan Mullally take it to Pisco on the word war debate Saturday night. They can coin money. They can provide for the punishment of counterfeiting, to establish post offices. Like, notice all the things you can do here. Notice all the things you can do here, chat. And then finally, I hate it when it does the thing you're looking for and it highlights it. You can define and punish piracies and felonies, which is funny that you can define and punish piracies and felonies. But then on the next hand, we can legalize piracy by granting letters of marque and reprisal and make rules concerning captures on land and water. So the Constitution authorizes you to do this. Cool. Now, how do you go about it? Well, how does this work? Well, Congress says you can do it. But it was like they kind of know Congress would issue letters of marque during the Revolution. Now, what happened after the United States was founded was Congress would pass a law authorizing the president to issue letters of marque and delegate that authority to you to commission private ships, and how that would work. Now, ultimately, it was something that the government did. So even though Congress will tell you you could do this, you can't anymore. Because there's no law authorizing it, except for now, something has come up. And this one's a little weird. It is a bill that has been introduced by Mike Lee out of Utah. And, this is where, like, as much as it sounds cool and based, who's going to be able to do this? So it says to authorize the president of the United States to issue letters of marque and reprisal. So notice, it's an Article 1 power that Congress has to authorize the president to do it. Trump can't do it on his own, but Congress has to authorize him to do it. With respect to acts of aggression against the United States by a member of a cartel or a member of a cartel-linked organization or any conspirator associated with a cartel. So guess what? I guess you're going to seize fucking drug boats. Like, yeah, going after the Sinaloa cartel with your freaking bass boat and your buddies on it. Like, I have a feeling they're going to cut your head off with a chainsaw. Anyway, this is a bill that's been read twice and referred to committee. So what do they want to do here? And they say, this act may be cited as the Cartel Marque and Reprisal Act of 2025. And it says the article defines as follows: Article 1, Section 8 grants Congress the power to grant letters of marque and reprisal to punish, deter, and prevent, aggression and depredations and other acts of war committed by cartel conspirators. Yes, Congress has that power. Now, they say cartels present an unusual and extraordinary threat to national security and foreign policy of the United States. Yeah, it is something that wasn't necessarily dealt with at the founding. Transnational criminal organizations, the Rothschilds, didn't really exist back then, except in some instances. It's the only one to do. They point out the president is authorized and requested to commission under officially issued letters of marque and reprisal so many of privately armed and equipped persons and entities as in the judgment of the president, meaning it's up to President Trump how many he can do. Does he want to do 1? Does he want to do 100? Does he want to do 1,000,000? I don't know. Yes, there's also the East India Corporation. Yes, but I was making more of a Rothschild joke. So, no, this is not a militia plot, sword. This would be different. The service may require with suitable restrictions to the leaders thereof, meaning the president can give you rules of engagement or limits on what you can do. To employ all means reasonably necessary to seize outside the geographic boundaries of the United States. And that is how privateers work. Privateers would venture yonder out into the Atlantic, into the British Isles. In this case, you'd be going down yonder into the Caribbean. But here's the problem. If I go into the territorial waters of Mexico, the Mexican government can stop me. If I go to the territorial waters of wherever, you run risk of problems. And I wonder how that would work. I wonder if President Trump would do anything about that. Something to think about. And you go after any property and territory the president determines is a member of a cartel, or any of those organizations who are responsible for an act of aggression against the United States. That's a pretty big list of people. Now they're saying security bonds. No letter of marque or reprisal shall be issued by the president without requiring the posting of a security bond in such amount as the president shall determine is sufficient to ensure the letter be executed according to the terms and conditions. So remember, Trump's going to say you can't just go out there and be like a fucking psychopath out on the ocean. He'll give you terms, and you'll have to post a bond, and that bond would be if you cause economic harm and damage, like you're out on your, let's say, for example, you're Bill Gates, and you make you buy some rusting Russian frigate, and you re-equip it. And instead of shooting at a cartel boat, there's some cruise ship going by from Carnival, and you're like, attack! And you start lobbing cruise missiles at it, and you blow a hole in the side of the Carnival ship. You don't kill anybody, thank God, but you blow a hole in it and you almost sink it. That security bond, that bond you posted, would go towards compensating that owner. Hold on 1 second. Are you okay, sweetheart? Okay. Blade 2 says that would be based. Yes. Well, here's the thing, though. You have some limits to that. But what could Trump order for a bond? $2 million? He could order $20. They point out definition of cartels. Well, what's the definition of a cartel? This is kind of important. Anybody in the designating cartels and other organizations as FTOs dated January 20, 2025. So all those organizations, transnational criminal organizations under the public law definitions. So you can go after a lot of different groups. Okay, but I don't know how you're going to do this in this day and age. What type of people are going to have this thing here? It'd be Carnival, nothing of value will be lost. Yes, the SS Fatigue would suffer. Dern is saying Blackwater could do it. Well, it's not Blackwater anymore. It's Z. It used to be known as Academy, which used to be known as Blackwater. Yes, Eric Prince's organization could do it. But if Eric Prince wanted to do it, they could probably contract with him anyway and have him do something. And even that, there's ways Eric Prince could do it. I just don't know how this is going to work otherwise, because what are you going to do? If I kept because this is kind of where I'm confused. Part of the whole thing about privateering is you have to bring the ship back. So if I stop a drug boat full of cocaine and I bring it back, is that drug trafficking? Am I allowed to bring a boat full of cocaine to the port of New Orleans or to the port of Miami, to the port of San Juan? Or if, we limp back into the Virgin Islands? Am I allowed to bring back a boat full of fucking cocaine? Because how do you adjudicate that as a prize? Because part of the prize is like the boat gets sold, it's got value, the cargo's got value. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that would work because generally speaking, you're not like, if it's contraband, it's kind of like we talked about the whole thing with like Destiny and, the cheese pizza. You're not allowed to possess it. You can't touch it. It doesn't matter what. You shouldn't be touching it. It shouldn't exist. You're not allowed to have it. No one's allowed to have it. Drugs are the same way. If you got a boat with like 40 keys on it, you're not allowed to have 40 keys of cocaine. There's no legal justification for that. And I don't know if that letter, like, you'd have to have a letter mark doing that. I don't know how it would work. Yeah, would the cocaine just get sold? Christopher Dolan says, you underestimate how many don't care about the loot. Oh, I understand. I'm sure there are people out there who just want to fucking kill people. And I'm not going to lie. You could do this like, we talked about in Sarajevo, there were allegedly like safaris. Think about how much money you could make. Like, you get flown down to like Grand Cayman and there's like a fleet of go fast boats with like M240s on the front of it and stuff. And you get to hop in that and they take the go fast boats out and you go on a drug safari. And it's like it's like playing you could take like you could renovate PT boats, because this is what PT boats would do. They would go out at night and engage Japanese shipping out in like the Solomon Islands and up through the island chains. Or like Vietnam using the riverine boats, the PBRs. Like, that would be kind of fun. Hop into a boat and you're just like hauling ass looking around for the drug boats and just, as you go after them. Like, that would be kind of fun. Like, that would be probably the way to do it. And like, you could sell that. And that would be the way to make money. But otherwise, like, you return one of these fishing boats, like, nobody gives a shit. Nobody's going to pay you for it. Radcon says, angry cops talked about this, said you would turn the drugs over at a designated port and you would get value for the boat and other cargo. That would have to be spelled out in the letter of marque and reprisal, because it's not spelled out here that you would have. If it doesn't say you have an immunity, then you don't have an immunity to do it, and you would be in trouble for it. The fact the government isn't prosecuting for it doesn't mean you couldn't get prosecuted later. So, without an immunity to bring drugs back for the purpose of returning them to declare your prize value, that's a problem. So they would have to do that. There would have to be some sort of protection for that. Otherwise, I would not advise people to do it. You have friends who can market for Eastern Europe, no worries. You're very funny. You're a funny guy, Sully. You're a funny guy, Sully.
You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
Yes. And Hunch Dirty Roofer over on Rumble says, letters of marque brought to us by Pfizer, Eli Liddy, and Bayer. Yes. Oh, yes. But yeah, if Angry Cops already talked about it, I'm actually surprised. He's pretty on that. Maybe tow rules cover this, undertow rules cover this. No, you can't like, you're not like, you would need dispensation from the government to traffic drugs into the United States. Because, like, think about it. If you just show up at the police department with a bunch of drugs, that's not necessarily going to end well. Breeden says, your country has many rich people with nothing but money and a lack of brains. Those will definitely take this up for funsies. Are you kidding me? I think that'd be fucking fun as shit. It's like when those guys go hog hunting out of helicopters. You could go hog hunting out of helicopters, or you do like a combined arms thing where, like, you've got, like, you could ride a little bird, and then there's also boats that are going along, and you're chasing down these Venezuelan drug dealers, and you're just like, zzz. That sounds like so much fun. So, you can see the cartels infiltrate and just pick up the cocaine to be taken, and take the prize back. Oh yeah, I can see that. It'd be very dangerous. I guarantee you people would die. That'd be very scary. Oh. So, way more fun than a gay vacation you could take. Well, I mean, like, are you saying vacations are gay, or are you saying like a gay vacation? Because if you're gay, that could be a lot of fun, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Oh. Chugi Show, real quick, we're gonna catch some super chats here. Chugi Show says, when Good is shot, a chop style setup encampment has been set up. So where's the National Guard, Timmy? Yeah, he's gonna let the lawlessness occur though, because they're his people. He likes it. Another new account for $10. Thank you, by the way. Says, I got a migraine. Thanks for being here. I got a migraine trying to explain to the left how ICE has the authority to detain people for violations of federal law that are not related to their citizenship. And despite all, the point of giving up. Anyways, thanks for the legal sources last night. Here's $10. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. January 6th, 2.0 says, let's say I live there. I tried calling the police. They don't do anything. I started getting threats. If I organize a group to destroy the barriers, but get arrested for destruction of property, how do you defend? Well, it's whose property is it? Because that's the point. Like, if it's just some barricade in the street, nobody owns it. You know, like the argument of I destroyed a barricade that was obstructing my ability to leave my home. Yeah, I don't like, I mean, you probably get prosecuted in Minneapolis, but yeah, like those people who lived in Chaz, like that neighborhood, some people were basically held hostage there. It sucks, but that's why you don't live in fucking cities and you don't live around the commies. There's lessons to be learned. SB Seller says the ABA has authority over Stonies, not for long. And Chugi Show for $9.99. Thank you. Saying, do you think the ICE officer who shot Renee Good is being held at a secret location? I bet they picked him and his family up and they're hiding right now. I wouldn't tempt fate at this point if I were them. If they aren't shielding him and the state may try to arrest him and the courts hate Trump so much, I don't know how this would go. Well, that's a whole nother issue. I mean, eventually the Supreme Court would have to step in. But yes, the way it would be done in the meantime. And then Squizgar for $10 says, hey, I went to Appalachian State. Well, suffer. But yes, Matthew Hardin went to Appalachian State School of Law, I believe is what he said. Unless I got it wrong. I'm sure he'll correct me if it's wrong. JP5696 has been a member for 4 months. Says, yes, the Nick Fuentes tact. You like women? That's pretty gay, bro. Thank you. Then Sweet Tooth has been a member for 33 months. Holy shit, guys. That goes all the way back to 2023. Actually, it goes all the way back to 2022. 33 months, man. That's crazy. Where does the time go? Thank you for being here. Through it all. Wishing all a wonderful 2026. Yes, everybody. Like I said, may this year be better than the last. Even if last year was good, may this year be even better. Digital Void's been a member for 8 months. If you aren't willing to go to jail for your cause, you have no cause. Activists used to expect prison. Now they act surprised consequences exist. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. They want, like I said, you claim to be a resistance and then you don't like resistance games. It's like, then why are you playing? And then Felzu says, for 5 months, he says, do what you want because a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yes, thank you. Squizgar says, if you think you have enough ammo, you don't have enough ammo. Well, that's always true. And then I want outdoors for 5 subs. Finally making a move that gets in a woo. All right, chat. You get that. That's how you get the Clyde woos. You got to do it the right way. And hold on, let's see if we can get Clyde real quick. Come here, buddy. Clyde. What's that? Oh, Clyde's snoring. So he snores like a person. I will tell you, like, he's been in bed with me in 2.0 before, and like I've woken up and I hear like snoring like a person, like snoring at the foot of the bed. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it wakes me up and I'm like, oh wait, that's, and you poke where he sleeps. I poke with my foot, and you're like, he grunts. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's Clyde snoring. But like every once in a while, it's throwing me off. And when we first got him, I was like, what the fuck is going on in here? So it's a very interesting thing. People's Defender says, I have a question. Okay. Why do civilians need military-grade weapons such as semi-automatic firearms, long-range missiles, anti-material rifles, and explosives? Why should it? Why not? Why does the state get to have that monopoly of violence like that if the state is going to abuse that monopoly of violence? Really, I mean, if you truly believe in the the worker here, in a capitalist society, why would you want that government to be able to exert power over the worker like that? I don't know. But I'm just saying, I don't trust the government. Government should not be allowed to have that kind of power if I don't have that power. The monopoly of violence is granted also, ultimately, at the end of the day, the people, the populace grants unto the government the monopoly of violence. We grant it onto the government. But it is a conditional grant. It can be revoked. If the people don't wish for the government to have the monopoly of violence, they can act out against the government. Now, it will take a lot of work, but yes, the people can reject and revoke the government's monopoly on violence. And the only way to guarantee that is for the people to have the ability to fight at the same level the government can. So that's why. Rabbit Six, what steps do you take to take and buy and upgrade a solvent trap? I mean, at this point, not a whole lot, but I'm going to 3D print some suppressors here once we get the new print head going and the new hot end working. I'm going to 3D print a can, and we're going to try it. So that's kind of what we're doing instead. That's what we're doing instead. And says Bush says, good to see you, Bush. Women don't develop schizophrenia, they're born with it. No lies detected there. No lies detected. Radcon says, tagged you in a new video that showed what happened prior to the ICE shooting in Minnesota. Really? There's another prior happening the ICE shooting in Minnesota. Tag me in it. I don't know if I can see it. Problem is, I'm getting like a million fucking notifications on shit right now. This is let's see. I don't know. Let's see here. I don't see it. Yeah, sorry, Radcon. If you can email or like DM me, that'll work. That'll help a lot. So that is there. Mega Mobas says, we already did that one. Duraco says, in Congress only needs a simple majority for the letter of marque. I mean, it's a standard bill, so I don't think it requires anything special. Ag says, Mike Leach would love this. Thank you, Ag. Mega Mobas says, also, Melton could be on the receiving end of a tomahawk. Yeah. A lot of people could catch a tomahawk in the meantime. Felzu says, grounds, is this an admiralty court? Not yet, but it will be. And EDW Raptor says, yes. As the meme goes, nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Yes, as you go kill cartel members. And then Ugly Thumb says, 2A absolutist space battleships for all. Oh, I think fucking rail guns that shoot cruise missiles out of them for all at this point. I mean, get the real stuff. Let's see. Manhunt says, I'm an hour back, but I want to see pick a Sean and paintball gear. Like I said, I was a lot skinnier back in the day. But like back when I was a kid and you played, you wore like a face mask and like a green shirt and went in the woods. I mean, like we didn't have all like the gay, like flowy knee pads and all that shit in speedball. We didn't do any of that stuff. It was in the woods. So like it was just fun. It was just fun. Axis, I missed your super chat. Why did I miss it? I said Mike Leach would love this. I got it. I saw it. I said it. Thank you, Ag. There. Did I catch it now? Let's see here. I caught up on Hunch. Is this thing frozen over here? Hold on, guys. It's like Rumble Chat died. Let's see here. Let's see. 3D printed space lasers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're basically listening to the final seconds of the college football playoff. Well, there you go. You'll have that. All right. All right, chat. So moving on, we got like a couple of things here real quick. Let's see here. Get that set. Out at JD. Oh, actually, yeah. Just real quick, guys, if you were not aware, out at JD Vance's house, JD Vance lives in Cincinnati. He was a senator here in Ohio before he became the vice president. Well, a left winger who's fighting in the resistance came out and started smashing the windows on his house with a hammer.
Well, the man accused of vandalizing Vice President J.D. Vance's East Walnut Hills home is being held on a $1,000 or an $11,000 bond. Early on Monday morning, Secret Service agents in Cincinnati,
which I'm not going to lie, that is a beautiful looking house.
Police officers arrested this man, 26-year-old William DeFore. He is accused of breaking several windows of that home, causing tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage. He's also accused of breaking out the front window of an unmarked Secret Service SUV. DeFore is facing.
And remember, because he's the Secret Service will protect his home. And yes, those windows probably had sensors and they have to get special glass in them. So yeah, costs a lot of money.
Federal vandalism charges. Today he did face that judge and was given that $11,000 bond.
So I own a pool company.
So that is what happened there. As this came in, this is him here. He's facing some local vandalism charges. He's got $11,000 bond, which means he's got, cash surety 10%, which means he doesn't have to post that much. But yeah, it'll be interesting. He's also going to appear in federal court for his federal charges. So he's got state charges and federal charges. He's got two. So have fun with that dual sovereigns thing. Yeah, I'm sure this person really, I'm resisting. And there is a funny clip of, Caesar walking into court here, which is pretty hilarious. It's a tranny. From what I understand.
Good morning, Your Honor. Paul Loftman on behalf of William DeFore.
That is the look of fucking terror. Once again, this is the look of fucking around and finding out. So brilliant work.
All right, waive probable cause.
So waive, Judge. Judge, I don't know that bond is a critical issue in this case. Mr. DeFore, my understanding as of not long ago, has a federal holder. Charges have been levied against him.
Which means that even if he gets bond here, the feds are going to take him and the feds aren't letting him go. So you have fun with that, brother. I'm resisting. Resist in prison. He's just a child. He's 20. Well, she's 26. So, the idea you can't run up to a building and smash the windows out. You have fun with that. Yeah, Z looks high on SSRIs, maybe. I think also Caesar is realizing, oh no, there are consequences for this. They're not fucking around finally. I think finally I kept acting out and now nobody's putting up with my shit is what happened here.
Assume a writ will be issued later this morning, allowing him to appear before federal court. There's also a felony probation violation.
Oh, yeah, by the way, he's already on felony probation for vandalism already, so surprise.
Mr. DeFore was in a mental health court. Mental health, obviously, is a driving factor in this case. He was doing well, to my understanding, compliant with all orders of that court until these unfortunate events, which I think it's safe to say were largely driven by mental health issues. The society, I would argue, should be judged by how it treats its most vulnerable.
I do agree society should be judged by the way it treats people, but That doesn't mean you get a free pass to act like a fucking psychopath and just attack things. Guys, kind of wrapping stuff up here. We're going to try to knock this out here. Like I said, we're trying to get back to being under 2.5 hours for the show. Judge Hannah Dugan out of Wisconsin. Remember, she's the judge who decided to screw around with ICE agents and was convicted in federal court of obstructing ICE officials, facing up to probably up to 2.5 years in prison coming up. Well, as of last week, she issued a letter to Governor Tony Evers of there. And what did she said here? So, dear Governor Evers, for the past 9 years, and this is how it starts, and you know that this is somebody getting ready to quit. For the past 9 years of service, it has been the honor of my life to keep everybody safe. And she says, during this last decade, I've served the bench, blah, 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 beyond. I have presided over thousands of cases with a commitment to treat all persons with dignity and respect. I mean, really, I don't know about that. To act justly, deliberately, consistently, and to maintain a courtroom with the decorum and safety the public deserves. So that includes you defying law enforcement officers. Well, I don't know. And she says, she says, beyond the bench, I've attended hundreds and hundreds of community events, listened to Milwaukee County residents voice their justice system experiences and concerns. I guess the people don't like it when you obstruct and help criminals escape the police. Jurors, witnesses, litigants, victims, and justice-impacted citizens, which is the name for people, which is the very PC term for people who have been convicted of crimes, who care about our courts. And she said, as you know, I am the subject of unprecedented federal legal proceedings. I don't think there's any cases where judges have done this, except in, Massachusetts. I think that one judge did it in Trump's, during the Trump first administration. But yeah, most judges aren't stupid enough to do this. Yes, it's very unprecedented because nobody's that moronic. So, these are far from concluded. Okay, I think she's like, I'm going to win on an appeal. It's like, I don't think the Seventh Circuit's got your back, sweetheart. But they present immense and complex challenges that threaten the independence of our judiciary. You're not allowed to defy police like that. If I helped defy somebody that you had a warrant for, she would have. If I did that in her courtroom and helped somebody escape her court's justice, she would shit a fucking brick and report me to the bar. The idea that she thinks she could do that and it's different for her when she does it. If I tried to do that, she would fucking kill me and sanction me for that. I am pursuing this fight for myself and for our independent judiciary. Okay. However, the citizens I deserve cherish to start the year with a judge on the bench rather than to have the fate of the court rest in a partisan fight in the state legislature. So she says, with a heavy heart, I submit to you this letter of resignation. Respectfully request you give it immediate effect. My faith in God, yeah, I'm sure you believe in God, honey, and in our legal system leads me to trust that in the long run, justice will be served for our independent judiciary and for me. The fucking hubris of this bitch. As always, forward and on Wisconsin. So gay. She should be sent to prison for that alone. The Honorable Hannah C. Dugan, Milwaukee County Circuit Court, Branch 31. Yeah, well, happy trails, bitch. Happy trails. Jesus Lovely says, doesn't this jeopardize all the cases she's presided over? No. Let's say she had cancer and she wanted to resign, or for whatever reason, I retire, I quit. Yeah, new judge comes in and picks up where she left off. Literally, some guy's already been appointed, and he comes in. All right, I'd start catching up. I mean, that happens. Imagine if she had died. She's just walking down the street and has a aneurysm, just dead. I mean, that doesn't jeopardize the cases. It might set something back, but no, we would we're gonna have to restart stuff. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. At the end of the day, so that's all I would say there. So on that, let's see here. Yeah, Clyde is sleeping. Yes, he is. Well, there goes any argument over remorse. Well, she's already, yeah, well, I think she thinks she's a freedom fighter or she'll get pardoned or something in the next administration. So her replacement is a dandy. Yeah, I saw the guy, but I'm not going to give him shit. He hasn't done anything yet. So it's not fair. I'm going to leave him be. I'm going to leave him be, chat, because he hasn't done anything wrong yet. He hasn't done anything wrong. Cancer has nothing to do with her breaking the law. No, I understand, but like what she's done will not. I get what you're saying. Does the fact she gets convicted jeopardize any of her previous cases? No. That doesn't. Remember, to open up any of her previous decisions, you'd have to show bias or things like that, and I don't think anything here would do that at this point. Like, I honestly don't think they're going to do it. I don't think so, but I get what you're going. Like, this is, yeah, it's a good question, though. It's a good thought, but no. Let's see here. Oh, check my DMs real quick. Okay. Saying it's getting spicy in Portland. Okay. Let me see here. I'm looking at my Oh, you're talking about. I'm looking at which DMs. Which DMs are you talking about? Gamer says the real question: did you go by the PO box? Yes, I did, and I got to go grab those. So we're gonna do those here real quick in 1 second. Real quick here, we got to do the last one. The last thing we're gonna get into, chat. Karen Reed, and I know a lot of people are Karen Reed it out, but we got one last thing, chat. One last Karen Reed to get through, and I promise you, this one is kind of funny. We're gonna get to it here. Karen Reed, her car. If you guys remember, Karen Reed's car was seized as the suspected murder weapon of John O'Keefe. And the idea is that she killed him with the car. Now, this car is been returned to Karen Reed because she won her trial and she's found not guilty. This is hilarioso, but yes, Karen Reed is now going to auction her car. She's auctioning her car off. And here we go.
Well, we now know when Karen Reed's Lexus SUV will hit the auction block. J.J. Manning Auctioneers will put it up for bid on January the 30th at 11 a.m. We don't know yet where the...
You guys remember, this is the car they accused of killing John O'Keefe.
Auction will be held. That hasn't been announced. The auction house says bidders must present a valid ID and have $20,000 in bank funds in order to register and then bid on auction day. There's no online or remote bidding allowed. Prosecutors tried to prove, of course, that Reed used that Lexus to run over and kill her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, but jurors cleared her of murder charges. Proceeds, by the way, from the sale will go to Karen Reed, who is still facing a civil lawsuit.
Yep, chat, and that is what happened there with it. Now, it's funny. Does it run? Yes. Is there blue paint on it? No. But the car has been screwed with. The car has been screwed with. Some of the electronics have been messed with. But we do have some interesting stuff on it, chat. We have Karen Reed's CARFAX. On a 2021 Lexus. It's funny, some Boston area organization went and got the CARFAX for this. So here we go. A 2021 Lexus LX 570 two-row. So what do we know about it so far? Well, its CARFAX value right now is $60,000. And what do we know at this point? Well, it is a one-owner vehicle, and an accident is reported. Uh-oh. The VIN number has been blocked out, but it's the 5.7 liter V8 dual overhead cam. It's nice. Got all-wheel drive. 2 service history records. Yeah, she took care of it. 350 miles is the last odometer reported reading. Yeah, Karen didn't drive it that far. Karen had barely had it for a while before the police seized it. So it was a personal lease vehicle, and that's the thing, chat. Karen Reed was forced to keep paying for the car, even though they had it in custody. So the accident damage history, event 1. Uh-oh. So what are the damages here? Well, it's not a total loss. There's no the CARFAX recommends you have this vehicle inspected by a collision repair specialist. There was no air tag deployment, no odometer rollbacks. The accident was reported 1/29/2022. Oh, that is oh no. Oh no, I'm sure the police did the police report the accident? I'm sure they did. Guys, if you remember, this is the date that Karen Reed's alleged to have killed John O'Keefe and hit him. And I think that if Karen had the chance, she could probably appeal this. CARFAX would have to say, yeah, we can't prove there was an accident that day. So there are no recalls, anything like that. They're damaged. Nope. Odometer issues. Nope. So the ownership history, it was 2021, is on a personal lease. It's been around for 4 years and 9 months. Yeah, because Karen's had it the whole time. Owned in Massachusetts. And yeah, here we go. So the dealer manufactured and shipped it out in 2021. The vehicle was serviced in March of 2021 at 350 miles. So Karen drove this for about 9 more months. So I don't, maybe it's probably 10, 15,000 miles on it. The emissions inspections were performed. In 2021, she got the title issued. In 2021, she probably hit a rock, had to get her glass repaired. And then once again, January 1st or January 29th, 2022, damage report, accident reported. It says the accident indicator. So they receive information about all accidents in all 50 states. Not every accident is reported to CARFAX as details about the accident become available. Those additional details are added to every CARFAX vehicle history report. And they talk about this report is based solely on information supplied to CARFAX and available. Who supplied it to CARFAX? Who supplied it? I would love to know. I would love to know. So anyways, that's Karen Reed's CARFAX on this. Dern is saying the 20K is a pretty good deal. No, it's going to go over 20K, but they just want people to have that shows you're a serious bidder. They won't give you it that way. They don't have to spend money registering people and dealing with people who got $20 in the bank. So it's very funny there. Was it someone in a War Thunder chat group? Was it Trooper Proctor? Probably. It was probably I could see Hank Brennan doing it just to fuck with them. Yes, YSL Young Thug got all of his shit back too from the Fannie Willis in the Fulton County DA's office. Yes. Let's see. Yes, the pirouette. Does it go 21 miles an hour in reverse? Yeah, it does. Are there still glass fragments on the bumper? That's not clear. So you can't use a third party to look back at the report cheaper. Well, I don't know. Somebody else paid for this. I didn't pay for this CARFAX, so I don't give a shit. The car info probably came from an insurance company. Yeah, but there's, it wasn't proven to have happened. And I don't think the insurance company's paid out to John O'Keefe's estate. Oh, that was also the night she backed into the car and broke the tail light. Yeah, but I mean, are they going to really, would they count that as an accident? I mean, I guess. Yeah, fair enough. I guess that's true. That's true. Thank you, KLF. Let's see. Malcolm Combs for $5 says, why would they block the VIN? There's no identifiable information aside from the country of origin in the packages you get from it. I don't know. I'm sure the news station that did this just doesn't want to look like they're doxing her. I don't know. They probably just did it out of an abundance of caution just to not look like dicks. So. All right, guys. Well, that is it. That is it for us tonight. We are all caught up and everything is done. We be working. Oh, by the way, I did forget to mention Actually, no, I forget what I was going to get into now. So we're just going to leave that be. And let's see here. Are we going to go locals? Yes, we are going to locals. Actually, hold on here, chat. Hold on. I got to go grab the packages here. So hold on 1 second. All right, chat. 2 things came into the P.O. box. We're going to open these fuckers up real quick. My apologies. We were a little busy here. And last night, I had these last night, Steven, and we were really fucking busy. So I'm sure you understand here. So first thing was a box that came in. Let's see what's in here. All right, let's try this real quick. And yes, guys, right after this, we are heading over to potentiallycriminal.locals.com. Join us over there. You 1 month free with the promo code fall 2025. Join us. It's a fun time. We get to talk about all the stuff we can't do here, all the rules, all the things. They are locals. It's like Patreon, but it's not as gay. So here's the first thing, and this is big. Keep your gift a surprise and present before opening this envelope. Okay, so share the screen. A gift from Stephen Cooper. Thank you. All right. Okay, so here we go. It's a gift bag, I think. He says share the screen. Okay, so I am sharing the screen. Okay. Ooh, this is fancy. I guess this is a way to do it now. It's multiple ways of hiding things. 2.0, I got you a free gift bag for the future. She likes using these for things. Jeez, this is like... It's robust, chat. Not urban garlicky, though. All right, chat. Okay, well, I guess continuing on with our Wehrmacht fascination of things now, we have a... Ooh, I didn't know they made these, but that's nice. This is nice. We have a Jagdpanzer Martyr 1. This is a self-propelled anti-tank gun used by the Wehrmacht World War II. And you're like, wow, that looks like a little bitty tank chassis. Yes, it is. That is something we're like, hey, what are we going to do with these extra tank bodies? And we're like, hey, let's just throw a freaking assault gun on it. And yes, we make a self-propelled piece. So thank you. And it was a very good tank destroyer for the Germans. Looks like it comes with people. Oh, it comes with 2 figures. Nice. And yeah, we actually might do, to kind of shake things up, we might try some winter camo here. We might try the winter camo option because we haven't done one of those yet. But thank you, Stephen. I appreciate this very much. I'll have to go on the pile with everything else. The pile of shame grows, chat. And if you guys want to see the models, go to the model channel. Yes, the second channel where we go work on the models there. Yes. So there's a second package here. I don't know what this is. Don't know who this is from. Let's see if there's any. If you guys don't send a thing with it, I can't tell you who it is from. Oh, another thing from Stephen Cooper says, a gift. This one's for Africa from Stephen Cooper. Okay, thank you. Like the Shakira song, Waka Waka Hey. Oh, ooh, very nice. This is at KFC 232. It says it's a Panzerwagen. It is a armored car and reconnaissance vehicle. And ooh, fancy. Going across the African desert. This will be nice to put together. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Thank you. Thank you very much. 8-wheel suspension. Comes with a couple of figures. Ooh, very nice. Photo etch parts and an aluminum gun barrel. Very nice. Very nice. There we go. Oh, yeah. No, I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Heck yeah. Yes, we could bless the reins with this. Now, we could bless the reins with both of those things. Valkyrie says, code expired. You send me models of Red Army vehicles, I'll do them. I'll do them up. I'll do them up. I ain't afraid. You send me some T-34s or Katyushas, whatever you think you want to send in IS-2. Whatever, man. Go ahead. We'll do them up. We'll do them up. You guys could also send me, like Shermans and M10s and, you know, Pershings and stuff too, guys. It just doesn't have to be German. Giant Sleepy says, sometimes I wonder how a man comes to love Shakira and the Wehrmacht. I mean, you've never seen the Waka Waka Africa thing with the Africa Corps, like, done over the top of it. It's fucking hilarious. Were they ticking? Sadly, no, Malcolm. They were not ticking today. Oh. I've already sent Sean some printed Soviet soldiers. Well, we got to work on all that. So, yes, if you want to send something, send it there. If you guys want to send Peens for Clyde to chew on, you can do that too. All right, guys. So we're going to head over to locals. If you guys want to come over, if the promo code's not working, don't worry about it. I guess we'll run an open show tonight and we'll hang out there. So give me a couple minutes. We'll go over to locals once again, potentiallycriminal.locals.com. We'll hang out and be a lot of fun. And yes, with that, I got to say, yes, subscribe, you fucks. And I will see you guys tomorrow, chat. I'm not sure what we're going to cover. Maybe we're going to have some rioting and, you know, civil disorder conduct. Who knows? But from here, chat, as always, and until next time, just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. I mean, unless you're Judge Dugan, then yeah, you're pretty guilty. So anyways, chat, good night. You guys take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Why is it not there? There we go.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy?